Alright, so for this video, I'm going to be spending 100 days in hardcore Minecraft, which, even if you were to sleep every single night in Minecraft, that is still playing for roughly 17 hours. This is a lengthy challenge, and just to make it even more fun, there are some things I want to do along the way. By the end of this challenge, I want to loot a bastion, I want level 30 enchanted netherite armor, and I want to kill the enderdragon. Obviously, this is hardcore mode, so I only have one life to do this, so it's going to be really hard. If you guys do like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. It's only 2 clicks. It really helps me out, and you guys can always unsubscribe later if you want. So with that, let's get into it. Day 1. So obviously the first thing on my mind was I need wood and get wooden tools so that way I can get some stone. And then I used that to get some stone tools, and there you go. Next, I need some food, as I don't want to starve. Pretty simple stuff, and I went looking for a village, but that's when I noticed this sand temple off in the distance, so I decided to go exploring that. And then once I get closer, I noticed that it was actually next to a village. I couldn't believe my luck. And I figured I might as well grab this TNT, as it could be useful later. The chest didn't have that much good stuff, but it did have a saddle and some diamond horse armor, so I guess I could get a horse. I then went to go check out the village, but it actually wasn't that good. It had no hay bales, and there was a ravine splitting it right down the middle. So I decided this village did not need an iron golem, as I wasn't going to be staying here, so I used my pro speedrunner tactics and decided to get myself some free early iron from this poor little iron golem here. I then also noticed a blacksmith, so I looted that and actually got some pretty good stuff from it. So that was nice. I felt a little bit safer. I remembered seeing a horse near spawn, so I decided to go tame it so I could go looking for a better village. He had black and white polka dots, kind of reminded me of the main dog from 101 Dalmatians, Pongo, so that's what I named him. And we were off. Me and Pongo against the world, looking for a brand new village to hopefully call my home. And in literally no time flat, I noticed one out in the distance, and we were off. Once we got there, I decided to make a little pen for him so he could not escape and, you know, keep him safe. Once I finished all of that, I noticed the sun was starting to go down. So I went into the villager's house here and just sort of yoinked his bed. Poor little guy, and I decided to put it right next down to Pongo and go to sleep, as I was not going to be risking mobs on my first night. And now, day 2. I decided I wanted to go mining to continue getting all of the iron that I needed and hopefully a little bit of diamonds. So I threw all my excess stuff in a chest and I was off. I went towards the desert hoping to find another desert temple, but didn't get any luck there. I did find this cave, so I decided to explore this, but unfortunately it came to a dead end. So I did the one thing that you should never do, especially in hardcore Minecraft, and I dug straight down. What was the worst that could happen? That. But luckily for me, it worked out. There happened to be some diamonds right there. So once I made sure they were all safe to mine, I went ahead and grabbed them. And actually, this was a vein of 10 diamonds, which is the most amount of diamonds that can spawn in a singular vein. So that was really cool. I continued to mine towards the sound of lava, and I managed to find another little area here. Unfortunately, no diamonds in here, but it did lead me to a cave system. I heard some mobs, so I quickly retreated as I wanted a shield before taking them on. So I went ahead and made that, and I figured I might as well turn these diamonds into something while I have them, so quick chestplate and diamond sword, and I was ready to finally go kill those mobs. And this cave actually turned out to be a ravine. And as you can see, that's why I wanted the shield. I hate skeletons, but this skeleton actually led me to some diamonds. And at the end of the cave, there was a mob spawner. I saved the coordinates for this for later, because remember I wanted level 30 enchanted netherite armor, so I could turn this into a mob grinder later. I quickly looted the chests, grabbed the diamonds, and I did a little bit of strip mining, but you guys don't want to see that. That's boring. Didn't manage to find any other diamonds later, but I did manage to grab some obsidian, so that way I can turn that into an enchantment table just to get some basic enchantments when I come home. I went back to the surface on nighttime of day 2. I was just juking out that skeleton, trying to figure out which direction to go. I just went to the first villager house that I could find and, you know, just stole his bed. So, sorry about that, villager. And that brings us to Day 3. Today I didn't do much. I basically just sorted all of my chests and decided to smelt all of the ores that I got from my mining trip, and I spent basically the rest of the entire day just getting wood, because I figured why not? You can never have too much wood, so that's exactly what I did. Went to a couple different biomes to get plenty of variety of wood, and yeah. came back and noticed these villagers were apparently having a town hall meeting and didn't tell me. I felt kind of offended, but oh well. Kicked him out of my bed, and I went to sleep to bring us to day 4. I initially decided to do some farming because I really need to get that started for breeding mobs later. And then I decided to flatten out a piece of land, which is where I was going to put my house. I decided to put it next to the village, just sort of to blend in. I thought it would look kind of cool in the end. I set down a basic foundation. I really have no idea what I'm doing. I've been playing this game for like 9 years, and I've never built an original house before that wasn't a box. So after a little bit of trial and error, I kind of ended up on this design. I thought it looked okay, maybe? I don't know. Again, I really don't know what I'm doing. I've never done this before. I decided really quick just to kind of fill in the walls, so that way if I decided I wanted to stay up during the night in Minecraft, I would at least have a base safe from all of the mobs. So that's exactly what I did. And that little hole there was going to lead to my storage room for later. That led us to nighttime, and there you go, end of day 4. And now days 5 through 6. I wanted to go ahead and start breeding some animals, so I made a fenced-in area here, and I was too lazy to flatten out the land, so I just made it a giant circle, because you know, why not? Me and Pongo headed out, we eventually found some cows, and I lured them to their inevitable demise, where I would, you know, breed them and then use them for food later. So, PETA, just avert your eyes, please. So I went ahead and closed them off, and I decided to split this penned area into 2 parts, because I also wanted sheep, so I can make some beds to help me mine out in the nether later. It took me a while, but I did manage to find some sheep, and I lured them all the way back to their demise as well. So this is how I got that started. I also wanted to get a general understanding of where things were in the nether. So at nighttime of day 6, I decided to use my pro speedrunner tactics to make myself a nether portal, and it kind of didn't work out, but it also kind of did. Yeah. I'm not good at this. Sorry. So with the rest of day 6, 7, and 8, I decided to explore the nether, as I wanted to find a fortress and a bastion. Right off of spawn was a fortress, so that was really nice. I decided to really quick grab some gold, so that way the piglins wouldn't attack me, and yeah. Almost killed me. I couldn't believe my luck there, but managed to not die. I then headed in the opposite direction of the fortress in search for a bastion, and after quite a while, I managed to spot one. I decided to get closer so I could tell which type of bastion it was, and I forget the name of this, but I do know in the bottom of that square box is a ton of gold and very, very angry piglins. I knew I was gonna need full diamond before I could take this on. So I made my way back to the overworld. That gave me just enough time to go ahead and sort my chests. I think I did a little bit of farming here as well, and I was preparing to go mining again so I could get my full diamond armor. Days 9 through 11, I basically spent the entire time strip mining, searching for diamonds. Initially, I went into this ravine that I found earlier. I was trying to maybe look for diamonds that I initially missed, or trying to find a cave to lead me to somewhere. But yeah, the majority of these few days I spent strip mining, which is really boring, and you guys don't really want to see that. So yeah, just cut all of that out. Days 12 through 16, I first spent preparing to go to the nether. I wanted to get full diamond armor and enchant everything, so that's what I did. I had just enough to get all of that and enough diamonds left over for an enchantment table. I had a few extra irons, so I decided to repair the iron golems. I have absolutely no idea where the second iron golem came from, but he was there. I finally had all that I needed to make my enchantment table, so I decided to work on that and get just really any enchantments before I headed into the nether. Anything was better than nothing. And I did manage to get protection on, I believe, every single piece of diamond armor, so I felt at least somewhat safe, but I was still pretty nervous. Also, before going to the nether, I wanted a bow and arrow, so I decided to get some flint so I could make a fletching table, so that way I could trade with a Fletcher villager. So I went ahead and got a bunch of wood so I get some sticks, used the sticks to get some emeralds, and then the emeralds to get a ton of arrows. And with that, I was ready to take on the bastion. As soon as I got there, these stupid floating squids decided to annoy me. I was so nervous while on top of here that they were gonna end up exploding the ground beneath me and setting me into the bastion. But yeah, I shot this arrow at him, and I guess he was so scared of it that he just decided to disappear. I then went on to get some diamonds, and this piglet got mad at me, and you could see me basically shaking as I'm towering away from him. I knew if I was ever gonna die in this video, it was probably gonna be here at this bastion. I was so nervous. I made my way up top here and just set a trap for all these angry piglins, and this stupid zombie pigman decided to get in my way, so shoved him out of here and continued to get rid of more piglins. Remember that zombie piglin. You're gonna see him later. So yeah, decided to loot the chests, found pig step, which is really cool. Wish I could play it, but YouTube says I can't, so that stinks. The rest of the chests were basically useless. I remembered that there was some gold hidden in the walls, so I got that, and I decided to kill the piglins in the other room before going over there. And remember that zombie piglin that I mentioned earlier? Yeah, he decided to get in my way, and I nearly hit him and had an entire zombie piglins after me. I don't understand why he wanted to keep getting in my way. Yeah, I managed to not hit him, get into the other room, all safe and sound, and actually got some good loot from that one. Got myself a nice diamond pickaxe. I then made my way into the actual treasure room with all the gold at the bottom, and I was so nervous in this room. There was so many holes in the floor and so many piglins everywhere. I was sure I was gonna die. I had to keep on trapping them off and killing them one by one before I could finally make my way to the bottom. I went ahead and broke the magma slime spawner while I was still above, because I definitely didn't want those things trapping on me, and finally, I felt somewhat safe enough to loot these chests. And again, got some pretty decent loot from that. Yeah, I went to grab these gold blocks and this stupid piglin dropped on me, so goodbye to him. And that was basically that. They all couldn't get at me because I was surrounded by lava and these dummies can't jump, so I felt free just to go ahead and loot the rest of these gold blocks. And then I figured the absolute safest way to get out of here was going straight up. On my way up, I did notice another chest that I didn't loot. Opened that up, and hey, will you look at that? Got myself another diamond pickaxe. I decided to immediately start trading these 3 stacks of gold to try and get any loot. You know, get the ender pearls to prepare to get to the stronghold later. No idea why these piglins were angry at me, but I eventually did get them to calm down and started trading with them. And let me tell you, trading takes forever when you're trading 3 stacks of gold. And about 10 minutes later from trading, this is all that I got from them. So I simply just took everything that I wanted, left everything I didn't want right in the chest, and I figured, you know what, we're already here, I've got a little bit of food left, we might as well go take on the fortress and get some blaze rods while we're here. I also really wasn't scared of the blazes because now that I had fire resistance from all of that trading, blazes really couldn't do any damage to me, so I was not scared of them in least. So as you can see here, while you have fire resistance, they really do nothing to you, so I wasn't in any way scared. After fighting them for a while, I ended up with 10 blaze rods. I decided to just grab one more, because, you know, why not? I didn't want to have to come back later. Eventually, another one spawned, killed him, and grabbed myself my last blaze rod, and now I could leave the nether, and I'm pretty certain I didn't have to return literally ever again. I had everything I needed from this nether, and I completed my challenge of looting a bastion. So now I decided to make my way home literally as I was running out of food, and that concluded day 16. Days 17 through 22, I basically just spent the entire time working on my house. I wanted to go ahead and complete it so that way I finally had something to call home, but the problem is it was taking me forever because, again, like I've said, I'm not good at this, and I really have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. I was just mostly making it all up as I was going along and hoping it would work out, but being near my house did give my crops enough time to grow, so I decided to work on farming, expanding my little wheat farm here, and breeding more of the animals. My house was finally starting to take shape after quite some time, and I have to say, I kind of like it. It looks not that bad. I wish the roof was something other than cobblestone, but I didn't really have any other resource handy, so cobblestone is what it had to be. I then decided to go ahead and mine out my little storage room here, so that way I could, you know, finally sort all of my items, and mining it all out went ahead and gave me the rest of the stone that I needed to complete my house. So I went ahead and finished that, and all that was left to do was start decorating it with, you know, actual decoration blocks. I always liked putting a ton of glass in my house, and I've always really loved sort of like corner windows on houses. So that's what I did in both of these corners. I tried to make everything super symmetrical just to sort of look nice. And I decided to decorate the outside with these acacia trapdoors because I thought that looked somewhat interesting. Didn't quite have enough acacia to finish it. So after one quick trip to grab some more acacia blocks, I finally was able to finish decorating my house. And this is the completed product. And for most people, I know this probably doesn't look good, but for my first actual build in like literally 9 years of playing this game, that's not half bad. I liked it. On days 23 and 24, I decided to go ahead and replace the floor. I didn't like just the boring old oak wood, so I decided to replace it with blackstone, as that was really the only other resource that I had available. And I decided in this corner over in my house here, I didn't really know what to do with it, so I decided this is where my level 30 enchanter was going to go. I decided to decorate it up a little bit, kind of make it look like the nether, you know, because of the blackstone, and I really like how that turned out. And I had just enough blackstone left over to go ahead and fill my floor in my storage room with blackstone, but not enough for the walls. So I went ahead and filled all of that in, and I decided to make my walls into stone bricks. But right when I went to smelt my cobblestone, I realized I didn't have any coal. So one quick trip to the mines for a bunch of coal, and we were ready to go. So I started filling everything in, and one quick cut later, I am finally able to sort these chests 26 days later, and this is what my storage room turned into. And I have to say, I absolutely love how the storage room turned out. It looks super cool. Days 27 and 28 was a mixture of just AFK and farming, as I wanted to continue to breed all of these animals as I was finally starting to run out of all of my bread. So that's exactly what I did. AFK, farm. AFK, farm. For basically 2 full days. Then went ahead, went to sleep, so I can get started on something else. Days 29 through 34, I spent working on making a mob grinder. I had a few design errors along the way that I had to fix, which was really annoying, but after a while, finally, I settled on this, where I could kill all of these zombies with a couple easy swings. And I have to say, this is super satisfying. And just having all of that XP one after another, I don't know, it's super weird. It's super satisfying. I absolutely love this. So since I had the mob grinder, I decided it was finally time to get all of my bookshelves to be able to do level 30 enchanting. I remembered my village had a librarian, so I really quickly just went ahead and yoinked some of the books from him to go ahead and save myself a little bit of time here. But the rest I would need to craft myself. So I went ahead, hopped on Pongo, we went and grabbed a bunch of wood to make the bookshelves, and I decided to AFK on day 35, right near my sugarcane, because I was just a little short of all the paper that I needed. Days 36 through 38, I basically spent the entire time trying to get a fortune pickaxe so I could go get some more diamonds. I wanted enough diamonds for another full set of armor, so that way I could turn that into level 30 enchantments for my full stack of netherite armor later in the game, and my goodness did I get annoyed with enchanting. As you can see, I was struggling to get fortune. I can't believe it was taking this long. It is a rare enchantment, sure, but it should not have taken that long. After literally days, I did manage to get fortune too, which is good enough, I guess. So I went ahead and combined it with my previous pickaxe, and now I had a pretty OP pickaxe, and I was happy with that. So on days 39 through 43, I decided to go mining for my very, very last time in this 100-day challenge. So I grabbed everything that I needed. Coal, diamonds, iron, gold, you name it. I wanted all of it, especially enough diamonds, so that way I would never have to come back down here again. And after a few days, that's everything that I ended up with. Again, it was mainly strip mining. You guys don't want to see that. Super boring, but yeah, that is everything I went and got. Went ahead and just slept to go ahead and finish this night, and that takes us to days 44 and 45. I knew I finally wanted to get netherite, and I knew that was going to absolutely destroy my pickaxe having to mine all of that netherrack, so I wanted to go ahead and get a mending book, which actually isn't that hard. All you have to do is trap a villager, and then break and replace a lectern right next to them over and over and over again, until finally there's a mending book there. Sometimes it can take a while, but you usually get it. As you can see, I wasn't exactly happy with that trade. 32 emeralds is the most I've ever seen a villager ask for mending before. Usually it was something like 20, I think. But yeah, I had to go get some more wood, get some more emeralds, so that way I could get my one little mending book here. I went ahead and quickly applied that to my diamond pickaxe, and now I have a pickaxe that'll literally never break. On days 46 and 47 was, again, a little bit more AFKing to get some more wheat, and then also getting some wood, so that way I could finally, literally halfway through my 100-day challenge, give Pongo a proper home. So I really quick made him a stable. Again, I'm no good builder, so I made the simplest thing my brain could come up with. And yeah, finally moved him into his new home there. Hopefully he likes it because it's the best I can do. And then went back to my base and noticed that 2 random villagers made their way down and decided to become fishermen because of the barrels, which was kind of annoying. And yeah, I guess they sensed that because they decided to hide from me, which is kind of funny. On days 48 through 51, I spent the entire time breeding my mobs. I wanted plenty of food, and most importantly, I wanted a ton of wool to make a bunch of beds, because beds explode in the nether, and they were gonna help me get all of the netherite that I needed. So I spent a few days there, and now it was finally time to go get all of my netherite. So for days 52 through 63, I decided to get it all. Literally hours upon hours of my life just doing this over and over again with the beds, until finally I noticed that the beds were shredding my armor and making me use food at an enormous rate. So I decided to stop that and just use my pickaxe left and right, just like this, non-stop, for literally, I think, something like 3 hours. I mean, it is somewhat of a satisfying thing to see and hear. But yeah, having to do that non-stop for 3 hours kind of drives you insane, until I only needed 1 more netherite. And you can see how happy I was to finally find that last little bit of netherite that I needed for a full set of armor and tools out of netherite. And I went ahead and made my way out of here back to the overworld using my literally last piece of steak. Day 64, I just went ahead and smelted it all, made it all, sorted all of my chests from everything that I got, and there was all the netherite that I needed. So, went ahead and converted all of that, finally, and you know what, I made the hoe, because why not? I got the ingot, might as well do it. It's funny. Days 65 through 72, again, I spent the time getting full level 30 enchantments on everything. I didn't care too much what was on it. I primarily just wanted it to be level 30, but I did spend some time to get some good enchantments. On my way back home, sorting my chests, I actually realized that I forgot to make an axe netherite. So on day 73 through 79, I went ahead, went back to the nether, finally found some more ancient debris, really boring stuff. You don't need to see that. But once I fixed that error of getting my axe, I decided to fix another error, which is these stupid villagers in my house. I was now pretty ready actually to go to the stronghold, but there was one thing I did want to accomplish before that I got there, and that was finding a name tag for Pongo. So I repeatedly just went through cave after cave after cave, exploring, until finally I found a mine shaft that gave me a name tag. On days 88 through 89, I went ahead, got that name tag, and made it official, named Pongo, and I spent the rest of the day getting myself some more steak as I was running a bit low, and starting to prepare to make my way to the stronghold. So with one quick throw, me and Pongo were on our way, and sadly I encountered an ocean very quickly, so Pongo could no longer come with me. A lot of it was across the ocean, some bit of land, but as you can see here, I threw an Eye of Ender right before a little island here, and then once I passed the island, I threw another Eye of Ender, and it was heading back straight towards the island, which I found really annoying, and delayed the ability for me to find the stronghold. Took a lot of extra time, but I did eventually find the exact spot that I needed to dig down, and usually it takes me forever to find the actual nether portal, but surprisingly, in no time flat, I managed to navigate my way through this stronghold and find the portal room. So I went ahead, plugged everything in, got the rest of my inventory ready, and on day 94, it was finally time to take on the enderdragon. And I must say, I am absolutely fantastic at my bow shots. I'm literally the greatest. I barely missed any of these shots. No one can compete with me. But yeah, after I took all of this down, it was finally time to kill the enderdragon. I decided to get the final hit with my fist, because, you know, why not? Just a little bit of disrespect to the enderdragon. And there you go. I completed my last challenge that I wanted to do. But I also wanted some elytra, because, you know, why not? I'm here. So I grabbed all of the XP that it dropped, went ahead and grabbed the egg, of course, because you can never leave that behind. And on days 95 through 98, I found myself searching for the end city. I was a little nervous I wasn't going to be able to make it back in time for day 100, but after a while of traveling, I did manage to find it. So I went ahead and pearled my way over and made my way down towards the treasure room. I did get some decent loot from the chests, but of course, most importantly, I got the elytra. But unfortunately for me, I realized I forgot to write down the coordinates of where my portal was, so I just ended up aimlessly flying around, hoping to find another portal on my way home. So yeah, I didn't manage to get lucky to find that, but while randomly flying around, I did manage to find another end city with another elytra. I made my way up to the top, primarily just because being that high up gave me enough space to continue flying around searching for another portal out, because, you know, I didn't really need the second elytra, but I mainly just wanted the height, and I eventually did find myself a portal out of there. I kind of missed my way making into it with the elytra. I was so close, but a little bit of water tricking, and I made my way through. And just like that, I finished the game. I beat the game. I am officially the greatest speedrunner in Minecraft. So, yeah. Made my way back, and of course, there was yet another villager in my house. Oh my goodness. Went to sleep, brought us to day 99. On this day, I basically just spent sorting all of my chests, all of the loot that I got from the end city, a little bit of farming, because, you know, why not? You can never have too much wheat, you can never breed cows too much. Admired the stupid wandering trader and stupid villager that somehow got stuck in my pen. I have no idea how. And then went and freed Pongo, because like I said, he's been with me since day 1. He deserved to be with me on the final day. So I made my way up to the mountaintop, and me and my best friend Pongo were able to admire the sunset on day 99. I can't believe I actually managed to keep a pet with me for this long, but me and him finally made it. So I went ahead, made my way home, and I decided, you know what? It's the final day. He can sleep inside with me. Again, stupid villager in my base. Set him up next to me, went to sleep, and that is how I spent 100 days in Minecraft. I hope you all enjoyed it. This challenge was stupid fun. I don't understand how I enjoyed this game so much still after 9 years, but I truly do. This game is super fun. And of course, this challenging was really hard. I've never done anything like this before. So yeah, I found it really fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, remember, hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps me out, and I would really appreciate it. So with that, I'll see you guys later.